He beat him badly, tied him to a tree, and chopped off his hands with a machete.
Ah! He did what? He did what?
I am the stone that the builder refused. I am the visual, the inspiration.
You too, what it do, man? It is your boy Abdul up next, and I am back with another video today, man. Yes, Sirski. If somebody says, yo, dude, you slurring on your talk, yo, dude, while it sound like you got a lisp, this is an expensive lisp, buddy. Anybody that stands in vicinity of me is getting spit on accident. On accident. If you got hands, don't stand near me, because I'm spitting with these girls on. 10 parents who took revenge on child lovers. It should be 1 million, bro. Any chance you get on a child lover, you just gotta put hands on them. It's only right. Unless they're your ride home. I was 2 hours out from where I live. I'm on a whole college campus. I don't know where I'm at. If my ride, who's 2 hours away, likes kids, I'm not saying nothing till he drops me off. Once he drops me off, I'll snitch. I'll tell you everything that I've seen. Wait till I get home first. But yeah, we're not gonna waste too much time. We're just gonna get straight into the video. So make sure you like this video and subscribe to me and More Abdul up next. That's my backup channel that's gonna get a video today. Let's go.
Here are 10 parents who took revenge on child.
Yeah, 10 parents.
Number 10, Jason Browning.
I just walked in and found a grown man, and I got him in a bloody puddle for you right now, officer.
July 18th, 2014. An angry father in Daytona Beach, Florida made a frantic call to 911. He reported that he had caught someone molesting his son. And
oh my God! I wouldn't have been able to call the police. I would have handled that one myself. I would have went to jail right then and there. You caught it? That has to be something that makes you rinse your eyes out with bleach. Yeah, so one day you're just gonna walk in on your son getting clapped by a grown man. What? I might not even be able to save my kid. I might pass out. I might pass out first. And I'm gonna save my kid after I wake up from the fact I'm gonna pass out at what I see.
and took matters into his own hands by beating that molester until he was knocked out, ready for the police to apprehend. The father, Jason Browning, described the scene to the dispatcher.
Yeah, I know he knocked him the hell out. He looked like he pumped up off them steroids right now. I feel the steroid in my ass. Like he took some injections to the booty. You would have thought he was getting the Jada Waiter. No, sir. No, sir. He's pumped up off of a monster right now, dude. Dude, I'm about to go do a deadlift right now, dude. I listen to rock bands and Coldplay, and I say the N-word sometimes on accident when listening to music, dude.
Stating that the assailant, Raymond Frolander, was still breathing but unable to speak. Frolander was lying on the floor, unconscious. Curious about the extent of the father's actions, the dispatcher asked if he had used any weapons to knock out Frolander. Browning simply replied, "My fist and my foot." The shocking photographs of 18-year-old Raymond Frolander's battered face quickly spread across news outlets worldwide. They served as a visual testament to the violence.
He's right there above me. Right here. Oh, damn. Yo, me personally, bro, I don't even like kids. It don't matter what anybody did. If they do you like that, you gotta go do something about it. Even though you should never look at a child again. Go fight him again, though. Y'all gotta fight again. Would have thought he whooped your ass like it was WrestleMania. Ah, damn. You got knocked out.
But the question is, what really happened that fateful night? According to the father, he immediately sensed something was wrong when he arrived home. The look on Frolander's face confirmed his suspicions. As Frolander's pants fell to his ankles, the father knew no further explanation was needed. He had witnessed a disturbing sight that left him with no choice but to take action. The father explained that Frolander, who was close to the family, was in their apartment while he was out. However, when he returned home and discovered what happened to his son, he began beating this harasser up until he was black and blue. He even told 911 dispatcher that he had loved Frolander up until 15 minutes ago. You can easily imagine that Jason Browning was seeing red at that very moment. So what stopped him from Frolander with his bare hands?
I attacked him viciously, and I didn't stop. The only time I paused was to go to the kitchen and retrieve a butcher knife, because I was going to him.
You can't even look at him for what he's saying like it's crazy. Why didn't you? Bro, he was somewhere touching his son. How are you at 18? You're 18, and you automatically can't go near middle schools. You just was out of middle school. You can't be 18 and liking kids, bro. That doesn't even make sense. Did you even give adults a chance? We just started on kids. You're 18 and a That man didn't even give adults a chance. Yeah, he did the right thing for whooping his ass for sure. You might have, every time you lay eyes on him, you gotta whoop his ass. You said you walked into him doing what with your son?
However, his son intervened and saved his own attacker's life, reminding his father of what he's got to lose.
He just looked at me and said, "Sir," and shook his head and just, no. And I just put the knife down.
Even your son was like, yo, he was tickling my booty, but you whooping his ass a little too much. Yeah, he was tickling my ass. I couldn't claim. He was tickling it. He was tickling that butt pops. Put it down, though. Put it down. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not saving nobody's life. If you tickle my butt, you're gonna get what you get, bro. It's the same equivalence.
Frolander was sentenced to 25 years in prison for molesting the child.
25?
By accepting a plea deal, he avoided a mandatory life sentence. However, in addition to his prison term, Frolander was mandated to register as a sex offender for life and wear a GPS monitor upon release.
That's all? That's offender for life. To be honest, with what he did, that's nice. It ain't no way he shouldn't not be serving life in prison. Ain't you like men anyway? You was playing with that little boy. Unless you like little boys, you would have thought he wouldn't have accepted the plea. He already into it being forced upon him. This might be your angle, buddy.
You gotta go. You gotta go.
He found his angle.
Number 9. Paramjit Singh. Father in India turned into a relentless vigilante after a teenager abused his daughter.
Oh, yeah!
Paraminder Singh was accused of molesting Paramjit Singh's baby in 2014 after the child's mother caught the teen in the act. April 19th, 2016, right after the court hearing, Paramjit Singh announced that he was going to forgive the accused and settle the matter outside of court. However, his plan for settling was far beyond anyone's wild
he's gonna pop him!
Paramjit offered to drive the boy home to the village where they both lived, Kotliablu, on his motorbike. Along the way, however, Paramjit stopped that bike and brutally attacked Parminder. He beat him badly, tied him to a tree, and chopped off his hands with a machete.
Ah! He did what? He did what? I don't need to look at a shiesty again. Yeah, they getting a little too gangster for me. I'm not gonna lie. Based off of what the guy did, he did the right thing. And I'm not the type of guy to give anybody tips, especially a child lover. But good gracious, you're stupid. You're as stupid as the actions you did. That boy's brain is empty. First of all, they decided to settle it outside of court. If you don't even have enough money for a ride, you don't even have enough money for a car home, there was obviously not going to be settled outside of court with money if you don't even got the money for a car, because you would have to give that man multiple millions of dollars for him to even think about forgiving you. You dumbass wouldn't do that. So if he told me automatically I don't have to give him money and he forgives me and we'll settle it outside of court, I'm automatically thinking this man's about to end my life. I'm automatically preparing. Grab the Call of Duty straps. Who got the Black Ops 3 back? Where did we leave the Black Ops 3 at? Let's go and get that. Obviously, let's pull out the legendary loot because he's about to use supply drop level loot on you. After automatically realizing, okay, this dude's obviously about to end my life, you fell for the easiest trick in the book. Not only do we gotta check your search history, we gotta check your dumb IQ. Gosh, you're an idiot.
Badly, tied him to a tree and chopped off his hands with...
See, he's nice. Man, first of all, I wouldn't have done your hands. We chopping your meat off. You gotta keep it in your pants, huh? You ain't know how to keep it in your pants? This the same meat that touched my daughter, eh? This the same meat that touched my daughter?
The machete. Paramjit then fled the scene, leaving the teen abandoned near a canal, writhing in agony. The local residents discovered the teenager and quickly informed the police, who rushed him to the hospital where the doctors managed to stabilize him, but his hands couldn't be saved. Paramjit Singh was arrested the next day and was charged with attempted murder under Section 307 of the Indian Penal Code. During his questioning, Paramjit admitted to planning the crime in advance, as he had brought a rope and a sharp weapon with him. This outstanding revelation has only intensified the shock and outrage surrounding the incident. Supporters argue that the father's actions were driven by his anguish and frustration with the justice system's failure to adequately protect his daughter.
Okay, we got a question to ask all of y'all. Did the dad do the right thing or no? Personally, the dad did the absolute wrong thing, but I'm still standing with the dad. I'm riding for you. I'm riding for you like you my man. Sorry, y'all. Sorry. But I'm definitely standing with the dad. Because think about it. Bro, you touched my daughter, gang. I don't want you to get no 5 years in jail. I don't know how much they do in India jail. I'm automatically thinking a sentence in jail is like, once you go into that jail, you probably not making it out being the same person. Could you imagine what them jails smell like? Like, I be having a hard time just like, after the gym, I'm about to get in the shower, I pull my pants down, I gotta get into the shower, and that smell already right there be about to be the reason that I die. An Indian jail? Prison? You know when they be like, fight the gorilla or go there? I think I'm gonna fight the gorilla this time around.
Number 8. Kenneth Falner. July 2015, in Maury County, Tennessee. Father's protective instincts led to a shocking confrontation. Kenneth Falner couldn't stand the thought of Thomas Williams, a man accused of soliciting his 2 daughters, getting away with just 3 years of supervised probation as punishment.
Kenneth is damn right. He was about to get 3 years of probation. No. If you did that, I need this man's bones returned back to me as a fossil. We're gonna go and call it raps for you. What you doing like in little kids? You're a senior citizen. You ain't even like in 50-year-olds, not your type. You're like 80, bro. You could have went down 30 years and still not went to jail. It'll never make sense to me. You're 80. Why couldn't you have at least talked to a 50-year-old, gang? What you doing talking to some newborn shit? You're Personally, I'm on Kenneth's side no matter what. Kenneth did the ultimately right thing by coming back and whooping your ass. I'm trying to sit down and think like, jail might not be enough to punish this man. Whooping him might not be enough to punish him because he about to die anyway. Oh, wow. So what? You ended my life. Bro, my life was going to end from natural causes 6 months later. You know what I'm saying?
Falkner's anger
Like
reached its
probation?
boiling point,
He couldn't
resulting
even
in a
get jail.
violent encounter that ultimately led him being in handcuffs. But how did everything start? Late 2014,
Couldn't even give him 1 day
a
in jail.
devoted
my nigga.
father in his 30s, had a gut feeling that something was wrong with his 2 daughters. He suspected abuse and wasted no time in reporting it to the Columbia Police Department. It turned out that his daughters were being abused by Williams, whom they thought were related to through marriage. March 2015, the Amore County grand jury indicted Williams on 2 counts of solicitation of a minor. This charge involves unlawfully persuading or enticing a person under the age of 18 to engage in inappropriate activities. Williams was arrested in April and held on a $2,000 bond. However, he managed to make bail on the same day.
Obviously, the man's bond was rent. $2,000 bond for children. At that rate, there's somebody right now who likes kids who know good and dang well they shouldn't. They're gonna continue doing it. Just $2,000 bond? At that point, you're pretty much promoting it.
When he heard the news of Williams' guilty plea, which wouldn't result in any jail time, Falkner's anger reached its peak. Driven by overwhelming emotions, Falkner confronted Williams directly. Recalling the encounter, Falkner described how Williams opened his door and stepped outside. Falkner couldn't help but ask him why he had done such a terrible thing to his children.
Get in his
Williams
ass!
could only respond with, "I don't know." That's when Falkner lost control and started physically attacking him. Williams later said that Falkner had punched him in the face and forcefully pushed him down the stairs. Falkner didn't stop there and continued to assault Williams, striking him multiple times. The severity of the confrontation led to Williams being taken to a local hospital. Williams did no jail time. A circuit court judge acknowledged that Williams hadn't gotten off lightly, but also noted that he hadn't been charged with physically touching the girls. On the other hand, Falkner found himself arrested and charged with aggravated assault. In response, Falkner said, "I did it for my daughters. Would I go to jail?"
Yeah, I think he did do it for his daughters. If I was a police officer, it don't matter if I was like one of the most crooked cops of all time. Today will be the first day where I'm like, you know what? I don't usually like your kind, but I'm gonna let you slide today. Personally, how could you be mad at Kenneth for what he did? I would be. That's trauma that their daughter is going to be talking about for the rest of her life. Like, she's going to be like 22 telling her boyfriend about what happened. And what she going to be able to say, what's your dad do? Nothing? Nah. That would be crazy. You would have been a failure to your daughter if you didn't do anything. Kenneth is doing the right thing. I'm surprised the old man didn't break into half. Like, he looked like a fossil. How'd you not break him into half? Now we got to question your hits. What was you punching them like? Greg Heffley punches? Diver Wimpy Kid punches? What was it, bro? 7.
Eduardo Gao. July 2000.
This is the last one we're doing. We're going to break this into multiple parts. Let's get this video to 100 likes for a part 2. Let me know now, but let's get into the final case.
Eduardo's 25-year-old daughter, Paula, vanished from his weekend house in Tepoztlan, Mexico. Gao was distraught and soon received a call from a gang demanding a hefty ransom for her safe return. Desperate to get his daughter back, Gao managed to scrape together $18,500 and some jewelry.
Oh, that's like some cartel shit. Not even gonna lie to y'all. If that was like my daughter on the phone and somebody called me like that, hopefully they let me know they're not rage baiting me. First thing I'm gonna say is, oh, you got my daughter held? Okay, this rage bait. After I say this rage bait, this a prank. After I say this a prank, I'm gonna say FaceTime me. And then after I say all of that, I'm gonna be like, okay, so where the camera at? So hopefully those 3 times he doesn't end my daughter's life, but that's pretty much what I'm doing regardless.
Gao managed to scrape together $18,500 and some jewelry, which he promptly handed over to the kidnappers. Tragically, a week later, Paula's lifeless body was discovered. He knew that his daughter's last moments must have been filled with terror, as she'd been shot in the back and neck.
Bro, this dead sounds like some TV show, like the first episode to an anime. What did you do to them guys? You just want money? Like, can I say sorry? I'll be wondering, like, with ops, like, do y'all ever say sorry? Like, do street rules play by the same rules as, like, 1700s? Like, can I surrender? I'm used to getting on my knees, bro. Just let me know.
Gao made a drastic decision. He shut down his consulting firm and transformed himself into a relentless sleuth, determined to track down the killer himself. Over the next year, Gao tirelessly pursued leads on the streets and meticulously analyzed phone records. His research revealed that a staggering 90% of kidnappings in Mexico go unreported.
90%?
This is because the closest to the victims are often paralyzed with fear, terrified of the brutal consequences that may follow. But what about Paula? She was kidnapped from her parents' house by a group of audacious men who broke into the house. After ransacking the place, they forcibly grabbed Paula and made their getaway in 2 stolen cars from the driveway. Also, what sets Paula's case apart from any others in Mexico was that her father was not the type to give up or back down out of fear.
Alright, this one's a little confusing. What type of life this guy living? This is straight out of an anime. This is literally the pipeline to why dudes be becoming street guys. You ever see somebody in the streets and be wondering, why is this guy thinking he's tough? Why are you wearing a shiesty? Somebody close to them always ends up dying in the street, and then they join the street to get back in revenge. But this is your daughter. You have no choice but to go get back. I'll be mad as hell though, because you ain't do nothing to nobody. The Mexican cartel, they go after anybody, bro. I'll never beef with anybody of that stature case. They just hold you hostage and ask for money randomly. Cartels not have RICO cases? Like, do they not have a judge system in Mexico? Like, what are the police like there?
Determination did pay off in the end. Paula's father not only managed to identify the main gunman, but also helped the authorities track him down. Our resourceful hero had traced one of the kidnappers to a payphone he used after the crime. The police then set up a stakeout, leading to the arrest of 28-year-old Francisco Zamora Arellano, who ended up confessing to the whole crime. We can't help but be in awe of Gao's
The hell? You turned into Sherlock Holmes? He took revenge, bro. He turned into a whole Sherlock Holmes. Dedicated the next 2 years of his life. Sherlock Holmes is nice of you, bro. But to be honest, this guy, he had no choice but to snitch. This really shows why, when in doubt, snitch it out. I know people be thinking that it's bad to snitch and tell, but like, I'm not hearing those things and saying, oh, I want the acceptance of men, I'm not snitching. Right? Nah, I'm pushing big pedestrian. For sure. Shout out to these 4 people right here. If you want to shout out, make sure you don't like kids. And like this video and let me know you liked it in the comments. I pick 4 lucky people to get a shout out at the end of every video. Also, another thing to get on topic with the video, every parent did the right thing. It just depends what type of person you are and how you take revenge. Me personally, I'm probably going to tell it out, or I'm going to just use my palms. In the comments, I want you guys to tell me what you guys would do though. That would be pretty interesting. Yeah, it's your boy, Dooley. Got rid of the last braids, got some new ones. Let me know if I should do a part 2 to this.